please.
Welcome, everybody. Hello. Happy New Year. Thanks for joining us. Hello, everybody. Nice to see some familiar faces. Nice to see some new faces. Welcome. All right. So we're just going to wait for a few more minutes here, maybe 1 or 2 minutes, just as people wake up and join us. And then we'll get started with your orientation.
I should be awake by the end, Alex. Don't worry. So some new faces and some familiar faces. So hello to everyone I know and to everyone I don't know. Nice to meet you. For those of you I do know, how was your Christmas, New Year's, winter holidays? How was that for everyone? Good? Good. Did everyone get presents or did some people get coal? No? KG. I get it. I get it. No one wants to be judged by the big man.
I'm curious to know if Michelle got coal, just to power the world a little bit more.
Maybe Santa gave her a carbon credit certificate with it just to assuage her conscience.
All right, a few more people coming in. Excellent.
That's right. Ryan and Dave do have the same haircut. Look like you're ready for
special.
basic.
Yeah. All righty. All right, so it looks like most people are in. I'm sure people will pop in as we go through this, but that's okay. We'll let them in, I suppose. So why don't we start for today? And so I'd like to welcome everybody to the first orientation of the new year. Welcome. You guys get the very first one. I'm so happy to see everyone here. Lots of new names I see and a few new faces, which is wonderful. So my name is Alex Dalton. I am the Student Experience Coordinator at Renison. I'll talk a little bit more about myself later, but myself, along with my colleague, AJ Dixon, we will be taking you through the orientation. AJ is the student advisor. He'll tell more about himself in a minute. So today is pretty simple. We are going to introduce a few of the faces that you see right now on your screen, so you get a better understanding of who is who and who you can reach out to. And then AJ and I will take you through some of the rules and policies and program information that's really important for you to know so that you have a successful term, okay? And then after that, AJ has a little workshop for you to get you motivated and stimulated and ready for your studies, all right? So without further ado, I would first like to turn it over to my boss, Ryan Connell, whose name is actually Renison ELI on there, to open up and say a few words. Ryan.
I am all of Renison, yes. No. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming today and welcome to our orientation. I am very excited to welcome you to our English for Academic Success program. When we bring everybody together, whether it's at the start of a term or at the end of the term, it's really important that we begin with doing what's called a land acknowledgement in Canada. And this is really important for us as part of our culture because when we bring people together, it's important that we acknowledge the land and the area in which we are situated. And so I want to take a moment to acknowledge the University of Waterloo's campus. Even though we're all learning from different parts of the globe this term, I want to take a moment to acknowledge that the University of Waterloo is located on the traditional territory of the neutral Anishinaabe and Haudenosaunee peoples. And what this means is that we're located on an area of land that's called the Haldeman Tract. And this was land that was promised to the first people who were living in Canada before Canada was even a country. And this land was promised to the Six Nations, and that includes 10 kilometers on both sides of the Grand River. And the Grand River is a very long river that twists and winds through the cities of Kitchener, Waterloo, Cambridge, and area. And so we want to first begin by giving our thanks and appreciation to the land. And that's very important to being able to respect the beginnings of our country. So thank you. I'm really excited to welcome all of you into our EFAS program this term. We have a lot of familiar names of students who've studied with us before, and I'm very excited to welcome you back to another term of studies. We know that this is a very unique time for us because of the virtual environment and the pandemic, but we are going to still work to make this an exciting experience for you, a vibrant experience for you to be able to meet others, to build your language skills, and to feel more connected to our campus community. Biggest advice that I can give to you as you begin the program is take advantage of everything that is available to you. There is many resources. You'll meet many of the faces of people who are here to support you today. And there are many ways for you to get involved through events, workshops, help sessions and meetups. And so we really want to welcome you and encourage you to make sure that you are accessing all of the help that's available for you to be successful. Our goal is to make you help you be successful, whatever way that looks like. And so we really warmly want to encourage you to be successful. You always have to access help and the resources and supports to ensure your success. And so please know that I'm here, our amazing student experience team and teachers and our support team. We're all here to help make sure that you are supported in any way possible. And if there's anything that I can do to help support you in that journey, please let us know. So thank you and welcome to the English for Academic Success program. And I wish you all the best of success this term. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ryan. Yes, very warm welcome. Okay, so next I'm going to introduce to you a bunch of people, and I'm just going to be going across my screen. But before I start that, I would like to introduce the Assistant Director of the English Language Institute, Elizabeth Matthews, to say a few words. Hi, Elizabeth.
Good morning, everybody, or depending on where you are in the world, good evening, good afternoon. It's a new year, and with a new year, I send you greetings and wishes for good health and prosperity. And I would just like to add my voice as a welcome to all of you. You know, a new year means a new start, and there's traditionally a time where we make resolutions, right? A resolution is something that we determine that we are going to do in the coming future. And oftentimes it's, I'm going to exercise more, or I'm going to eat better. For many of us, it is that we are going to, continue with our education, and we are going to be better students. And normally I don't make resolutions because I'm a little secret. I am so bad at keeping them. By the time February comes, I can't even remember my resolution. But this is a resolution that I make at the beginning of every term. And because it's a new year, it seems even more apt. And my resolution is to provide all of you with the best possible program and the best possible learning experience that our team can. You know, like Ryan said, this is a very unique time. We have been isolated from our friends, our family, from each other for many months now. And it has caused some loneliness, it's caused some isolation, but it's also given us a lot of opportunities because we've got an amazing platform where we can all come together and continue to learn and improve ourselves and improve our language. So for as much as everything is happening in the world that is negative, there's so much that we have to be thankful for. And I think that this is not the best way to learn a language. I think we can all agree, but it is something that we have. And I really commend all of you for taking this next step in a time when things are a little uncertain. And, you know, it's going to take a lot of dedication to sit in front of a computer and you know, attend classes virtually as opposed to in person. We would all love to be with you, looking at your faces and shaking your hands and giving you high fives and hugs and all of that. But the best that we can do is do it through the screen. With the new year comes my resolution at the beginning of every term to make sure that all of you have the best possible experience. You have amazing instructors that are here to help you on this journey of yours. You've got an amazing student experience team that are going to create a lot of wonderful virtual events for you to participate in, which will really help improve and augment your language experience. And you've got a great staff in Andrea and Michelle that are always there to answer any questions and give you a letter whenever you need it and help you with whatever you're having difficulties with. And there's me. You know, I am more than just a little box on your screen. I am here if you have any difficulties, if you have any questions, if you're having any struggles. My job is to make sure that the program runs smoothly. My job is to make sure that our standards meet the standards that are required for the University of Waterloo. So there might be things that you don't understand. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing it this way? I don't want to do this. If you have questions about the programming, you can reach out to Nella. You can reach out to me. I'm never too busy to meet with students and discuss your progress, or just be another person that you can chat with. If we were in person at Renison, I would invite you all to my office where I always have a bowl of chocolate on my desk, and students very often would come in, have a seat, have some chocolate, and we would have a chat. Since we can't do that, and you know, visiting my house is just a bit far, I do invite you to come and visit me virtually. So I welcome all of you. I understand that now that we've opened up globally and there's such a possibility of studying anywhere in the world, especially virtually, I am so pleased and so grateful, so honored that you have all chosen to come and study at Renison here with us. I truly commit to making this the best experience for you. And I just hope that you have a really successful term. We will do everything we can to ensure your success. And I hope that that you do everything you can to ensure your success as well. So I'm going to pass it back off to Alex. Welcome, everyone. Have a wonderful, wonderful term.
Thank you very much, Elizabeth. That was a wonderful and warm message to our students. Okay, so next I'd like to turn it over to the EFAS program manager, Nella Malikov. Hello, Nella.
Hello, Alex. Hello, everyone. So, so good to see you all here on my screen. I'm very, very excited for this term. So I will be teaching as well as helping you behind the scenes. And I want to echo what everyone else has said so far. Communication is extremely important. You are not alone in this. We know that there will be issues. We do know. So arm yourself with patience, or maybe we should all arm ourselves with patience and be, you know, excited, because you are learning to problem solve as you go as well. So these are skills that, you know, you can also kind of put in your hat and be proud of. So arm yourself with patience, be curious about, you know, your classmates, be curious about the community that we have. And we have a great community because we have, you know, you have great support of your student experience team and your peer leaders. And we are all here to give you the best experience, and not just to help you learn the language, but to help you also kind of form this wonderful friendships. So welcome all to EFAS Winter 2021.
Thank you very much, Nella. Okay, next I'd like to introduce your instructors. So just going across my screen here, I'm going to start with Dave Penton. Hi, Dave.
Hi, Happy New Year to everybody. I'm looking forward. Oh, my name is Dave, and I'll be teaching Academic Skills 320. So I look forward to meeting all the students in that class and having a really positive and successful year. Let's have some fun.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Dave. All right, next up we have Paul DeWitt. Hi, Paul.
There we go. Hello, everyone. Yeah, my name is Paul DeWitt, and I'm teaching EFAS 360 and 460. So they are communication classes, presentations, speaking, things like that. So they're really interactive. I've got some great and interesting assignments, presentations for you to do. So yeah, looking forward to meeting everyone and a great semester.
Thank you very much, Paul. All right, and next up we have Zdenko Milos. Hi, Zdenko.
Hi, happy New Year to everybody. My name is Zdenko. I will be teaching writing 300 and 400, and there are some great things for you to learn in terms of academic writing, which is not really easy, but it could be very much fun and interesting. And so hopefully we're going to get through this together like we always have so far. Okay, so all the best, and it's going to be a good ride for sure.
Thank you very much. And I believe that's all the instructors I see on my screen. If I'm missing someone, just shout out. Okay, so next I'd like to just introduce some of the ELI staff. So you already met Ryan, you met me briefly, and you met AJ briefly, but the two of us will talk a little bit more about ourselves during the rest of the meeting. So I'm going to pass it off to Andrea Brandt. Hi, Andrea.
Hi, Alex. Thank you very much. And I just want to let everybody know that I'm very excited for the start of the new term. I want to welcome all the new students and returning students to the program and wish everybody a happy new year and a great term ahead. Thank you.
Lovely. Thanks, Andrea. Next, I'd like to turn it over to Michelle Parrott. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. I've been in contact with a lot of you already. I'm the behind the scenes person getting the placement test all set up and getting everybody registered. So it's nice to put some faces to names. And just to reiterate what everybody else has said, if you have any questions, just feel free to email me. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. All right, next up, I have two very special people to introduce. We will be talking about them a little bit later as well, but we have two of our peer leaders, and our peer leaders are two students who will be helping you through your journey in EFAS. They're along the whole way to help you out, to be your friend, to chat with you, whatever you need to succeed. So first, I would like to introduce Jenny. Hi, Jenny.
Ryan, I'm sorry. Thank you for your introduction. Hi, everyone. Happy New Year. I'm Jenny, and I'm currently a second-year student in the program of Environment, Resources, and Sustainability. I will be one of your peer leaders for this term. And one fun fact of me would be that I'm currently having a rabbit and a cat in my house. And I would say that Radisson is a great place to improve your English. I'm looking forward to know more and meet about all of you. And please talk to us or ask us if you have any questions or concerns about anything. And I hope we'll have a great rest of the term. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jenny. Nice to meet you. Next, I would like to turn it over to Willow. Hi, Willow.
Oh, hi. Hi, everybody. My name is Willow. Happy New Year. And I'm going to be the second peer leader alongside Jenny. I'm currently in my second year of ARBIS, so that's arts and business. And I've lived at Renison before, and now I'm really excited to be working there. And I'm really excited to get to know all of you. So feel free to shoot me an email. Yeah, I think that's the main form of communication, but I'm just really excited to get to know all of you guys. So I guess a virtual open door policy if you ever want to talk.
Excellent. Nice to meet you, Willow. All right, so that is the team. So next up, we are going to be moving forward into the rest of the orientation. But before we do, I always like to pass it off back to Elizabeth to see if she has any parting words.
Thank you, thank you. It's so nice to see all these new faces and familiar faces, and I'm going to keep my parting words short. I think people like it better when I don't talk too much. So I think I'm just going to repeat what I said earlier, and that is that we are so happy that we are starting a new term and that all of you are with us. Congratulations on making the decision to actually dive in and continue on. And we are going to do our very, very best to help you along. So best wishes. Don't forget that I'm going to say what everyone else has said: communication, communication, communication. Reach out if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling confused, if you're feeling uncertain, if anything. Just, you've got so many people here that you can reach out to. You've got Ryan and his team, you've got Nella, the instructors, you've got Michelle and Andrea, you've got me, so you've got your peer leaders, you've so many people. You're not alone. So make sure that you take advantage of all the support that you have, and all the best for a very successful term.
Excellent. Thank you so much. I don't know if anyone's ever said that we don't like hearing you talk, but you have great speeches, so they're always appreciated. Thank you, Elizabeth. Okay, so if you are an EFAS student, please stay on this call. Otherwise, if you're instructor or staff, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Great to see everyone again. All right, I'll see everyone later. EFAS students, please stay on the call. All right, so AJ is going to get the presentation started. AJ, can you share? Is it working for you?
Yeah, it's working for me. I'm just pulling it up now.
Perfect. All right.
All right, can we all see that? Our nice snowy courtyard. Yes. It
Did you
looks
go
like
out there
that,
and take
right?
it? Yeah, you
It's
took a
live
picture
shot.
of it? Yeah.
Live shot.
Perfect.
It's very still winter's morning. So yes, welcome everybody to the English for Academic Success program again. So Alex and I will be talking about our roles in a minute. So the next hour or so, we're going to be going through some important information about the EFAS program and who we are and how we can help you, as well as ways that you can learn about what events are happening, because in addition to your classes, we have lots of fun events and activities planned for you, as well as ways we can support you. So that's all coming up. My voice is cracking. Oh man, haven't talked to anyone for like 2 weeks. So the old Adam.
Yeah, during the holiday, AJ was just there with his book, not talking to anybody.
Yeah, solace. Yeah, so hopefully by the end, I'll sound more like a normal human being. But again, welcome everyone. And the thing to remember through all of this, through all your studies in the EFAS program, is that we are here to help you. My very bad running joke that I tell every orientation is that the one thing that I'm really bad at, that Alex is really bad at, Ryan, our teachers, the one thing we're all really bad at is reading minds. I've tried for years and I still can't manage it. I can't tell what Alex is thinking now. I'm pretty sure he's thrilled with all of this, but I'm not positive. So if you have a question, if you're struggling with something, if you need help, it's very important that you send us a message, whether it's through our social media channels, whether it's through email, you book a Zoom meeting with us, whatever it is, it's very important that you physically tell us through words or through a written message, because otherwise we're not going to know you need help. So that's if anything else, that you take away from this is make sure you reach out if you need support. Okay, so we're gonna do a quick poll, give a chance for you guys to give your opinion. Just launch the polling here. How are you feeling about starting your EFAS studies? This is an anonymous poll, so don't worry. We can't see who's responding to what. We just want to kind of gauge how you're feeling about EFAS right now. Okay. Like watching it move in real time. I'll give you like 30 more seconds. Or maybe less. Once it stabilizes. Going. Any more answers? No? Okay, let's see how we're all feeling. Ooh, interesting. So some of us are happy, which is great. Glad to hear that. Nervous, about 60% of us nervous. Totally normal, totally understandable feeling at this point in the term. Like for a lot of you, this is very new. Not only the EFAS program is new, but maybe learning online is new for you. So feeling nervous, totally normal. One sad, one unsure. Again, some normal feelings, especially right now. Our routines have been totally upended for many of us. We're living very different lives, and that can be really challenging. Which again, all the more reason, if you're feeling, sad or lonely or just need someone to talk to, very important that you reach out to me, Ryan, Alex, your peer leaders. We're all here to support you. Even though you might be, in your office or in your bedroom working away, you're not alone. So it's very important that if you need somebody to talk to, that you reach out to us. And unsure, that's totally normal too. It's all a new experience, right? And the thing to remember is that we're all in this together. Okay. So all these good looking people, sans Alex, I'm not sure where, I think we didn't want to be upstaged by Alex, to be perfectly honest. I think that's why he wasn't there. These are your student experience staff standing out in front of Renison. That's what Renison looks like from the flagpole entrance. I hope you get to see it there in person one day. But the best person to talk about Alex is Alex. So I'll turn it over to you and you can tell us a little bit more about what you do, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah. We really need to update photos, I feel, right? Those are getting old. Okay. So hello, my name is Alex Dalton. As I mentioned, I am the Student Experience Coordinator. Quick background about myself is that I'm a graduate of the University of Waterloo. I graduated way back in 2016 in legal studies and management studies. And now I am studying my Master's of Business, Entrepreneurship, and Technology at UW. So I'm a big UWaterloo fan. And so if you have any questions about the University of Waterloo, I am more than happy to answer those questions for you. But my role specifically in the ELI is to facilitate or to run your activities. So we'll be seeing your activities calendar a little bit later in this presentation, but I help run those and coordinate them, make sure they run smoothly so that you have a great experience. Also, specifically, one of those activities is the ELI Vlog volunteer team. And so that is something I'll talk about a little bit later. I also work with our partner organizations. So to put on these activities, we need to reach out to our partners, whether that's someone in the University of Waterloo or a lot of the time outside of the university and possibly outside of the city, which is getting a little bit easier to do now that everyone is virtual. So what that means is we get to put on some really exciting things for you that even if you were in person, you might not have experienced. So that makes me really happy and excited to share with you as well. And finally, I'm Canadian, so I know a little bit about Canada, and hopefully I can answer some questions about life in Canada. And specifically, if you are going to join us in person in the future, I can get you prepared for life in Canada as well. Thanks.
All right, thank you very much, Alex. Okay, So this is yours truly. Again, my name's AJ Dixon. I'm a student advisor here. Yeah, I'm the one without antlers. So just so we're clarifying that in the photo, I'm wearing the blue shirt. So just so you're aware. But yeah, that's my good friend Rennie Moose. Back when we all met together in person. I'm not sure what Rennie's doing these days. Maybe visiting family up north. I really don't know. Hopefully he's okay. But yeah, Rennie's our mascot at Renison. Always a fun time. So I hope you get to meet him someday. But yeah, so my job as a student advisor is to help you adjust to your studies. Not only online studies, but just kind of Western North American style studies could be quite different than what you're used to in your home country. So ways that we help you make that transition to studies in EFAS and at UW include one-on-one check-in meetings. So we're going to meet with all of you twice this term for a short 10 to 15 minute Zoom meeting, just to see how you're all doing and see if there's anything we can do to support you. You can also book longer, what we call one-on-one meetups, where you can get additional support with learning strategies, study strategies, time management strategies. Those of you who haven't applied yet to UW or any other Canadian university or college, I also offer application support. So if you're using the OUAC system for the first time and it's a little confusing if you're applying to University of Ontario, or if you just need help researching programs based on your career goals, I'm always happy to support with that. Okay, is Ryan still with us? Ryan? No? Okay. Do you want to talk about the big man, Alex?
Sure.
All right.
Okay, so you met Ryan. He's the guy with the giant smile, as you can see from this picture as well. That's one thing that you will notice about Ryan is that he is always smiling and always there to help you. So Ryan is the student experience manager. So he's our boss. He makes sure that everything is running smoothly and is there really just to make sure that you guys are all having the best experience you possibly can. So he is in charge of events and activities on the broad scale. But he's also there to help you with pretty much anything. He's worked at the University of Waterloo for a while, and so he can help you access online campus resources. So whether that's something related to Learn or something just related to some of the other resources that you have available to you as a student. In person, usually he's there to help guide you around the campus and make you feel at home. But in this case, it might be a little bit more virtual. And of course, Ryan is also Canadian, and so he is more than happy to answer any cultural or weird questions you might have about Canada. But realistically, Ryan is probably one of the best supports out there. And so if you really need anything and you can't get a hold of myself or AJ, Ryan is the perfect person to talk to. And of course, if you can't get a hold of your peer leaders.
All right, thanks, Alex. Yeah, I should ask Ryan about the milk in the bag thing. I'm Canadian, I still haven't figured that one out. All right, Michelle, maybe Michelle would know because she's all about the environment. Michelle Parrott, whom you met earlier, she's our administrative assistant. We call her our Jacqueline of all trades. So she helps students apply to the program, pay their fees, helps with the placement testing to figure out where your current level of English is. She's worked at Renaissance several years now. Very friendly face, always happy to help, and she's a good laugh. So if you need any questions answered, Michelle's a good person to talk to. You also met Andrea Brandt earlier. I think she was joining us from a forest or something. It was midnight. She's probably in Finland or something. But Andrea is our administrative officer. So she helps anyone who's coming as part of a large group. So sometimes we have large groups of students from overseas come. So she helps them get set up in their program. Also your What I Am accounts. So what you're using to log in to the University of Waterloo websites, such as Learn. She helps set those up. So if you have questions about that, she's a good person to talk to. And you also met Nella. So Nella already explained her job a bit, but she's our program manager. So she works with this other person whom you met and gave a great speech, Elizabeth Matthews. They both work together to set the curriculum, so what you're actually learning in class. They help hire and train teachers, and they also are there to provide additional one-on-one support with your learning. So both Nell and Elizabeth, if you have questions about your level of English or what course you're in, anything like that, or a concern about your classes, they're both good people to talk to. Okay. I don't think Jen joined us this morning, but Jennifer Burton, she's our housing and student activities coordinator. So those of you, I know we're learning virtually right now, but some of you may be thinking of traveling to Waterloo soon, and maybe you need some on or off campus housing options, which are still available. Jen is a great person to talk to. So if you do have questions about that, feel free to reach out to myself or Ryan or Alex, and we can connect you with Jen if you do have questions about obtaining housing in the Kitchener-Waterloo area. Okay, so remembering we're here to help you. So I'll turn it back over to Alex a little bit, and he can discuss some of the events and activities and how they will help you build your skills.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, AJ. So we have a lot of activities planned for you. You'll see a little bit later, we have a calendar. You might have seen that calendar already. And there's pretty much something to do every day. And we designed that for you so that in your downtime, we know EFAS will be a busy program, but in your downtime, you'll have a chance to socialize with other people, as well as some of the other things you see here on the screen. So we make these events, they're not just for fun, right? We know that your time is valuable, and yes, we want you to have fun while you're here with us, but we also want to make sure that you're always getting extra value from these events. So primarily, these events are here to help you practice your English, right? In a virtual environment, some days there might not be as much of a chance for you to practice your English in a classroom setting as you might have hoped. In our events, you have a chance to speak with other students from around the world, speak with your peer leaders, speak with our volunteers that will come by. And that's really a chance for you to practice your English. And we find that speaking with others and practicing is the best way to solidify your learning, right? Next is to help you adjust and answer any questions about university life. And really, it can be about university, it can be life in Canada, whatever that means for you, whatever you need. There are people there like your peer leaders who will be able to answer those questions for you. There are certain events that are designed specifically to build your leadership and communication skills for whether it's your co-op, if you're going to be studying co-op, or just your degree studies in general. So you'll see some of those a little bit later, but we want to make sure that you could walk away from this EFAS term with potentially a certificate of leadership, for example. Another one is that some days with hard work and cloudy days, depending on where you're living, you might feel worried or sad or just overwhelmed from your studies. There are lots of people to talk to. There are people, as we say, in the same shoes as you. So they're feeling the same thing, and you guys can talk it out together. You might be able to come up with some strategies of how you can better that. Or there are people such as your peer leaders, myself or AJ, who you can chat with and help you out. And then finally, just in general, learning about the UW services available to you. So whether it's virtual or eventually in person, there are a lot of services and resources that you can take advantage of to make sure that you're able to succeed in your EFAS studies and in your university career.
Wonderful, thanks, Alex. Again, so we're also here to help you with building your academic and life skills. University studies and English studies are a big adjustment. So some of the ways we do that are success coaching, which we also call one-on-one meetups. And as you can tell from the name, it's to help you be successful. So these meetings, normally between half an hour, are a good chance to learn some additional strategies for improving things like time management, like your reading skills. You're gonna be doing a lot of reading. So whether that's journal articles or an e-textbook, we can help you determine what's important and how you can get the main themes out of the text quickly. study skills, note-taking strategies, so you're recording that important information, setting goals for yourself, both short-term and long-term goals, organizing yourself, managing projects, and preparing for tests and exams. So again, all skills that we hope that you will be able to master by the time you have completed your EFAS studies with us. Okay, so your peer leaders. Just go back here, sorry. We have 3 peer leaders at the EFAS program, but you're only have met 2 today, Willow and Jenny. I'm not sure yet if Willow and I know Jenny's still here with us. Willow, are you still here with us?
Yeah, Willow's here, yeah.
Okay, great. They both introduced themselves earlier. Willow is an arts and business student. Jenny is an environment student. So thank you for staying with us here today. Again, they're both students like yourselves. So they know what you're going through, and they're great people to ask questions of if you need support. We also, he didn't join us this morning, but we also have Roy. He's an environment student. He works a lot with our other program, the BASE program, but you may see him at some of the events where we bring our EFAS and BASE students together. Very nice guy, so he's a good person to talk to as well. Okay, so remember that your peer leaders are here to help you with practicing your English. They will be facilitating and hosting a lot of our virtual events and activities, and they will help you adjust to your studies and build strategies to help you succeed. Okay. So I talked about some of these online support services that are available. So I mentioned the virtual one-on-one meetups. I would encourage you to attend our Waterloo websites workshop tomorrow, because I am going to explain very quickly. I'll do a screen share about how you can book meetings with us online. It's a really cool system. Basically, you just pick the person you want to meet with on the website. You pick a date and a time that works well for you. You select a reason why you want to meet. If anything, you can even just say you just want to chat. You press submit, and you get emailed a Zoom link and a meeting reminder. So it's all automated. It's all really cool. So you can pick the meeting time that works best for you. So I'll show you how our meetup website works if you join us for our Waterloo websites workshop tomorrow. I mentioned university and college application assistance. So again, if you are planning on applying to UW or any other Canadian university or college, I can support with that. As well as some other services that we'll quickly go through together. All right. So we also have our Renison Wellness team. So our 2 student services counselors, Rita Francie and Jana Tudover, they're both trained to help students adjust to their studies, but also to deal with difficult challenges in their lives. So these could be mental challenges. These could be challenges just related to adjusting to a new life or a new routine or relationship issues. So they're both trained counselors, and they're available to meet with you for free if you're currently living in the province of Ontario. Now you might be wondering why that matters, particularly in an online environment. And that's because Rita and Jana's licenses to practice are currently limited to people residing in Ontario. So if you are residing in Ontario, great. You can connect with them for some free counseling appointments that are confidential, so they don't share with us anything that you need help with. That's entirely between you and them. If you're currently living outside Ontario, there's still a good person to contact if you want information about resources in your home country or wherever you might be living at the present time. So again, you can connect with them directly. You can email Rita. Rita is working a little bit more than Jana at the moment, so she might be a good first point of contact. You can email her at rita.francie@uwaterloo.ca, or you can always connect with myself, and I can help set up that connection between you two. We also have our Anglican chaplain. So Renison University College is affiliated with the Anglican Church of Canada, so Church of England. So our chaplain, Megan Collins-Moore, she holds virtual worship services every Sunday, but she also hosts other events like Tea and Questions is a popular one that she holds over Discord, I believe. That's on our events calendar. So Megan's always a great laugh. I enjoy talking with her. So she's a wonderful person to talk to if you need some religious advice, spiritual guidance, or I know she's a huge Doctor Who fan. So if you want to talk about Doctor Who, you can also set up a meeting with her. We also have our immigration consultant, Luann Nahn. So again, some of you might be planning on traveling to Canada soon, in which case you'll might need a visa or study permit. So we have an immigration consultant, Luann, who works at Renison. She's a Renison employee, and she is trained to provide immigration advice for those of you coming to Canada. You can book a virtual meeting with her for free. So you don't have to pay anything, which is nice. So you can always contact her. Her email address is there, or you can speak to myself or Alex or Ryan, and we can set up a meeting for you. Okay, I've been talking too much, Alex. It's your turn. Talk about this very exciting looking events calendar for us.
All right, perfect. I'm just gonna let it load on my screen. Perfect. Okay.
Sure, yeah.
So I mentioned a few times about this calendar, and so here it is finally. So as you can see, it's packed. It starts next week on January 11th, and this specific calendar will run until January 29th. Each month, we will put out a new calendar that will have some events that you have seen before and some that are new. We repeat events so that you know, if it's a conversation hangout or speed friending, there's more opportunities to go to these maybe larger events than if you had missed it or something due to studies or illness or something. So there's always a chance for you to come out to these events multiple times. But the calendar is broken down into a few different classifications. So we have some social events, we have some like leadership and workshop events, and then we just have some more casual events as well. So looking at the 11th, your first day of classes coming up soon. We're excited about that. But then we also have right off the bat a great social event, Renison Bingo. So if you haven't played bingo, I highly recommend it. It's a great way to socialize with others and win a few prizes, I believe. So that one's always a good way to start off the term. Next, you'll see, for example, we have supports in science, and it says for base students. So you may see that a few times in the calendars. Here I can see it, I believe, twice, where it says specifically for base students. That's just because it's really associated with their program. It won't be too much of a use for you specifically. So I wouldn't really recommend those events for you. There are tons of events that you can partake in. So Tuesday is speed friending, which is probably one of our largest events. That's one that I'll host. And it's where we take all the students from all the different programs, whether that's BASE or EFAS or just UWaterloo students in general. And it's a chance for you to meet new people. So if you've only met the people in your class so far and you would like to meet more people and grow your network, I highly recommend speed friending. It's a really fantastic way to meet new friends, maybe study buddies or something like that, people with similar interests. Now, you'll see in the middle, we have lots of conversation hangouts. So these are events or activities with your peer leaders. So in the morning, or our morning, you have a chance just to sit down in a casual environment to chat with the peer leaders. So again, we mentioned earlier that these events are designed to help you practice your English. And this is a very relaxed, casual event. You sit down, maybe grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, and just chat whatever you want to talk about. Sometimes the peer leaders might have like an activity that they'll do with you depending on the time of the month, maybe something for Valentine's Day, maybe something for spring, whenever that comes. And it's really just a nice way to sit down and relax with people. Let's see what we else. On Mondays, typically AJ will have a workshop. So AJ's workshops are designed to build some skills for you that are really relevant to your studies. So whether that's something about In this case, we have planning your term right. So what does that mean exactly? Well, it means we're going to make sure that you're ready to take on the challenge of EFAS, to make sure you're prepared and ready for your studies, with some tips and tricks and strategies, right? There's some other ones that may come up in the term, maybe learning about Excel or Word formatting, sleep strategies. There's lots of workshops that AJ can put on. And if there's something specific that you would like to know, maybe reach out to AJ and he'll see if he has a workshop for you. On Friday, the 22nd, you see a couple things going on. We have the ELI Vlog Volunteers. As I mentioned, that's one that I run. What are the Vlog Volunteers? I believe there's a slide next, so I'll talk about that in a moment. And then moving forward, the next one I see that would be really useful for all of you, I believe will be the 29th. Oh, sorry, not the 29th, the 28th. So the Mature Student Coffee Chat. So this is one that similar to the Conversation Hangout, but designed for maybe more mature students, right? People who are already through university, right, a little bit older. They want a conversation that's a little bit more high level. So maybe that's having a chat with me or AJ, our chaplain, who knows who pops in. Those ones are really fun. And we get some great conversations going. Again, a beautiful way to practice your English. So that's a quick overview. There's a few social ones on there. Again, I highly recommend that you check out as many events as you can, because it's not just about having fun. It's not just about the social aspect. There is a lot of value there for practicing your English and meeting lots of new people, which I think is really important in today's virtual environment. Perfect. So I think we'll see the next slide might talk about Vlog Volunteers.
Yeah, I was noticing Rennie's birthday.
Oh, right.
On there.
Yeah.
So I guess he's going to make an appearance.
Yeah, I guess so. He'll come out from the forest. Yeah, Rennie's birthday is always a good one. Yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah. So, Alex, you're younger than me. You understand all this social media whatnot. Do you want to discuss that a little bit, young man?
Boy, do I. Yeah, the social media whatnot. That's the official term. Okay, so this one's really important. If you have the social media apps, if you have WhatsApp or WeChat, it is highly, highly, highly recommended that you join this group. This is where we will be posting all of our updates, all of our reminders for events and activities and signups. This is where we will be reaching out to you, just asking you general questions. How are you feeling? How are you doing with your studies? Or just a place to chat in general, right? I love these chat groups because they're very free flowing. You have lots of people talking at once, lots of information in there. It's always up to date, always updated with new information. So please make sure that if you can right now, scan your QR code. If you can't scan it right now, where else will you see this? You will see this in your email newsletter, which I believe we might be talking about. Perfect. So in your email, we have a weekly newsletter that we send out every Sunday. And in this newsletter, there is a ton of information. So this is where you'll see like longer form content. So you'll see updates about maybe some assignments coming up, like overall, like when your exams might be, when the breaks are, right? You'll see upcoming meetings and the workshops. You'll see places to sign up for some of those. You'll see lots of links. In the next coming days, you'll see lots of links for signing up for activities. And I really encourage you every week to read this newsletter. It is full of very vital information, not just for the social aspect, but also for your main course information as well. All right. You'll see schedules, important program announcements. And yeah, we do try and put a little fun in there about Canadian history and culture as well.
Okay. I'll give Alex a break for talking for just a minute and bring up our Student Experience Hub. So you're going to be using a website called Waterloo Learn. So what it is, Learn is a learning management system. And what that means is it's a website where your course information will be posted. So you'll be using the Learn website a lot for your EFAS courses. But you'll see one of your courses, it's not really a course, but it's an online site called the EFAS Student Experience Hub. So you'll see that when you log in to Learn. And when you click on that, you'll again see event reminders and other reminders. For example, in this screenshot here, you'll see about an announcement about joining the ELI Vlog volunteer team, which Alex will discuss shortly. But it's just another place where you can access information about virtual events. If you missed a workshop, you can download the slides from that workshop or watch a video about it. You can download the EFAS student handbook, which we'll talk about shortly. So again, because you're going to be in Learn so much, this is a great place to quickly check information about upcoming events and useful resources. So friendly reminder, do join us tomorrow at 9 a.m. for our Waterloo Websites workshop, so you can learn how to use the Learn website, and you can also see the Student Experience Hub. All right, as promised, volunteer vlog team. Alex, this is your baby. Tell us.
All right. Okay, thanks. This one, it is my baby. This one is really cool. We got to develop this new last year. So we started in the late spring, and we've taken it term through term. This is one of my favorite activities because it is a chance for you to record yourself and talk about various things. So what do we do in this specifically? Every week we meet up and there'll be some sort of assignment. So for example, the first assignment that we'll have is just introductions about yourself. It's really easy. But later we have assignments about, what is your favorite book or movie, or what is something that you got to do in your country, or show us your country, show us your hometown. And the assignments are, you take your phone and you record yourself. So usually these are little clips that are about maybe 1 minute to 2 minutes long. And it's a fantastic chance for you to improve your online presentation skills. It's funny, when new members join, they're so timid. They're like, I don't want to get in front of the camera. I don't like recording myself. And by the end of it, you can't stop them talking. They just love getting in front of the camera, seeing themselves on the screen, and chatting about something. So this one I highly recommend. If you are nervous about being on camera, if you're nervous about speaking, if you're nervous about presentation skills, this is the activity for you, because I teach you all about those skills throughout the term. The commitment load, it's very low, right? A simple recording of 1 to 2 minutes on your phone is not very intensive. And I edit them all together to a nice video at the end. So this is one that I highly recommend. There will be a link for you to join. It might even be in your newsletter already. And I really look forward to seeing you on this one. We've had nothing but great feedback from all the students who have participated in the past. I will be putting some of the videos from our old cohort of students into the chats, into WhatsApp and WeChat, and hopefully you can see what they did and where they progressed. And I can't wait to see you at the Vlog Volunteers. Thanks.
Thank you, Alex. Looking at this, I'm like, dang it. This is the fall poster, so my apologies. So there's every orientation presentation, I always miss something because I have to update it with new information for the new term, and I always miss something. So my apologies. Check your newsletter for the actual sign up date. Hopefully there's no more mistakes in our orientation.
So this one, no worries. This one is January 22nd is the first meeting. So you have a little bit of time. We let people settle in. But you'll see the link at the bottom of this poster. That's not the right one then. So you will have the link in your newsletter. I will be putting that a few times into the WhatsApp and WeChat. All right. So don't worry about that. January 22nd would be the first meeting.
Perfect. Thank you, Alex. Okay. So this is wrong too. Sorry, I jinxed myself. So this is an important reminder for all of you, is that if something looks incorrect or something looks confusing, double check with one of us, because we're human, we make mistakes, some more than others, myself included. And so if something looks incorrect, please do let us know. But this slide, besides the date, has some very useful information about our Conversation Partner Program. So what is it? The Conversation Partner Program is a chance for you to meet with native English speaking students to practice your English conversation skills. So it's a wonderful program. You meet virtually via Zoom or whatever social media app you choose to use. Talk once or twice per week about your studies, about your culture, about the other person's culture. So you learn a little bit more about life as a Canadian, and they get to learn a little bit more about your culture too. So it's a mutual exchange. It's a very valuable program. So how do you sign up? The link is in the newsletter, so do check that, but that link there on the poster is correct. Usually it's mid-January is the deadline to sign up, but I do encourage you to, the sooner you sign up, the better, because often it's a very popular program. And sometimes if you register late, you might have difficulties being matched with a partner. So if you can sign up sooner, the better. And if you do have questions about that, please let us know.
January 15th is the deadline. So AJ mentioned it does fill up really quickly. If you want a conversation partner, sign up like today.
All right. So yes, good advice. Wonderful program. Please do sign up soon. Okay. The most exciting part of this presentation is now. That is sarcasm. And I think, Alex, are you still planning on doing a Canadian humor workshop? I can't remember if that was planned this year.
It's planned. It's coming. It'll probably be in like, I guess, February or March or something like that.
Good. Make sure you cover sarcasm because I get a lot of strange looks because people don't understand my sarcasm or because I'm just strange, one of the two. But your EFAS student handbook. So this has important information about program policies, deadlines, important dates for your EFAS studies. So I know when you hear the word handbook, you hear rules, policies. It's not the most exciting thing, but it is very important. So you can check the Learn Student Experience Hub or our online orientation website to download a PDF copy of the handbook. I encourage you to do that as soon as you can. You can follow along, but I'm going to go through some of the highlights here with you now. So first day of class is this upcoming Monday, January 11th, as Alex mentioned. The deadline to cancel your registration, if for some reason something comes up, life happens, you're no longer able to study with us. The deadline to cancel your registration is January 15th to receive a partial refund. After that time, if you decide to leave your EFAS studies, you would no longer be eligible for a refund. So do keep that January 15th deadline in mind. It'll be here before you know it. We're already talking about it, is your family day and reading break. Family Day is a holiday in many Canadian provinces, and as the name suggests, it's just to spend time with family or people you care about. That's February 15th, but then the rest of the week through the 19th is also reading break. So you get a whole week off from your studies. We do encourage you to use that time to catch up on some of your homework, start doing a little bit of preparation for your midterm exams, which are the following week, February 22nd through the 26th. Your teachers will be holding review sessions to help you prepare for that, as well as for the final exams. I know that seems very far away right now, but March 29th through April 1st is the final exam period for EFAS. So whether you're studying full-time with us, all 3 courses, or you're just taking 1 or 2 courses, you're all required to write the final exam. It's what we call a comprehensive exam, so it covers all the major language skills, so reading, writing, listening, speaking. So do make sure that you're attending class, because as the exam approaches, your teachers will be holding review sessions and letting you know more about the exam format and how you complete the exam. Finally, our end of term celebration is April 1st. It's kind of a similar format to this, be an online Zoom meeting. And it's also when your transcripts, so your grade reports will be available. And again, if you do need those grades sent to UW or another academic institution, please let us know ahead of time so we can make sure that those are sent right away. Passing requirements. So you might be wondering, what exactly do I need, what grade do I need to achieve in order to move from one level to the next, or if you're in our highest level, how to pass the program. So levels 100 through 300, we go in ascending order. So level 100 is our kind of our high beginner level, whereas 400 is our advanced level. Levels 100 through 300, you need to have a minimum 70% average in each course, as well as an overall average, including the final exam of at least 75% to proceed to the next level. So if you're in level 100, you need to have an overall average of 75 with a minimum 70 in each course to move to level 200. If you're in level 400, which is the highest level of EFAS, and you're trying to meet the language requirement for UW, or if you're doing an undergraduate program at Laurier, who also accepts EFAS, you need a minimum 75% average in each of your 3 courses, as well as a 75% overall average, including the final exam. So that's very important to keep in mind. You need at least 75 in each course. And then when you average those course grades along with your final exam, you also need 75. So do note though, that's for undergraduate studies. If you're a graduate student or you're a 2+2 student, and if you are a 2+ student, you'll know who you are. Some programs have different requirements. You need to speak to your faculty or program advisor to obtain that information. If you're not sure who that is, just contact me and I can help set up a meeting for you. So some quick additional requirements. Like I said, everyone has to write the final exam. Whether you're taking 1 course or 3 courses, everyone needs to write that. So do keep that in mind. Also attendance. It's very easy with online studies to fall into a little bit of a rut and say, I'm not going to go today, or I'm just going to skip this day. So that's a bad habit you want to try to avoid, because you are required to attend at least 80% of your classes in order to write the final exam. So if you have less than 80%, you won't be able to successfully complete the program. Now you do need to miss a lot of class to fall below that 80% mark. At the same time, we do know life happens. Maybe you get ill, family emergency, whatever it might be. So if that's the case, contact your teachers right away. Let them know why you're going to be away and how you obtain the notes and the work so that you can make that up quickly. Course syllabi, or singular syllabus, also known as a course outline. Every instructor will give you a course outline that explains, it tells you their contact information, the best way to reach your teacher, when they hold office hours, so when you can book a Zoom meeting with them to get some one-on-one help, as well as the expectations for their course. So what are the major assignments? What are expectations regarding participation? That sort of thing. So you can kind of think of it as a contract. It's a contract between the teacher and you as a student. So it tells you, the student, what you need to do in order to successfully pass that course, as well as it also tells you what you can expect from your teacher in terms of obtaining help. So all your teachers should give that to you on the first day. It will probably be downloadable from their Learn website. But if you don't receive that, make sure you contact them right away, and so they can email that to you. Academic integrity. So what is academic integrity? Very important concept, both for Renison and UW, but also just Western universities in general. It means being honest about our work, our academic work, our coursework, and telling others where we obtained information. So an example would be like citations. So if we're citing a journal article, or we're using a picture of a painting or a video, we want to tell other people where we got that information. What happens if we don't do that? That's what we call plagiarism. And plagiarism is a fancy word that just means you submit work that someone else has done. So sometimes that's not unintentional. It means you didn't do it on purpose. You may have just forgot a citation. You're using a picture in your assignment and you forgot to tell people where that picture came from. So that's unintentional. Your teachers will work with you to try to avoid those mistakes. Other times it can be intentional, which means it was done on purpose. So that would be like hiring someone, paying them money to write an essay for you. As you can imagine, that's a big no-no. It's taken very seriously by Renison and the University of Waterloo. And students who do that, those sorts of major violations of academic integrity may receive a 0 on that grade or an assignment. So obviously not good and would drag your overall grade down quite a lot. Or even worse, you might be expelled from the program. So again, it is something we take quite seriously. But like I said, your teachers, myself, Elizabeth, Nella, we're all here to kind of help you understand what those rules are. So we're not just going to throw you into the deep end and say, figure it out. We're going to help you figure out the right way to cite, when you need to cite, what format you need to use, that sort of thing. So don't worry, there's lots of support here to make sure that you stay on the right side of the academic integrity rules. All right, so we've been sharing a lot of information. I know it's a lot, especially for those of you joining us and it's early in the morning. We do have our online orientation website, which I hope you've all had a chance to look at, but if not, I encourage you to go there because it covers a lot of the same information in a little more depth, and you can read it at your own pace, which is great. And again, if you do have questions, you can always reach out to us and we're here to help you. Quick reminder about class schedules. So those of you who have already written the placement test or you're going to later today, that information is going to be used to put you into a level. So level 200, level 300, level 400. And then you will be receive a set schedule. So when you're expected to be attending virtual class, as well as instructions on how to join those classes online. So you should receive that schedule by Friday evening, Waterloo time. So tomorrow evening, Eastern time. So for some of you overseas, that might be early Saturday. If you do not receive your schedule, please email Michelle. Her email is really easy. It's eli@uwaterloo.ca, and she can send you your schedule for your classes, or send us a message in the WeChat or WhatsApp groups, and we can make sure that we get your schedule to you as soon as possible. Okay, coming up in a couple minutes, we'll have a short break just so I can get some water. And if you all need a bathroom break or whatever it might be, before we join our online learning mini workshop. So learning a little bit more about some strategies to be successful as an online learner. But Alex, I think this is where we part ways, at least for the moment. Do you want to say a few parting words, good sir?
Yep, sure. Thanks, AJ. Yeah, as AJ mentioned, there is a ton of information that we went over in this presentation. I don't think anyone expects you to memorize it all in one go. So as AJ mentioned, there's that orientation website. That's an amazing resource. But I did mention it in the chat, and we've mentioned it a few times. Check your newsletter. The first one that came out on January 2nd is full of very important information. So there are the links to the chat groups, the QR codes are in there. There's the links to everything we talked about today, whether that was some of the activities or some of the resources. And of course, there is the contact information for a lot of us in there. So keep that newsletter handy, read through it later today or tomorrow, make sure you know it. And of course, if you need anything from any of us, feel free to reach out anytime. That's why we're here. We're happy to answer your emails or have a video chat with you. So great to meet all of you. I can't wait for this term. It's going to be wonderful, and I'll see you later.
Thank you, Alex. Pleasure as always. Now, So like I said, we're going to do an online mini workshop in about 2 minutes time. So I'm going to give everyone a chance to get a quick break, get a drink, use the washroom, whatever it might be. So I will bring up our new slides here for that other workshop. So just bear with me. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we'll give you all a 2-minute break. My screen is going to go blank temporarily, but I will be back in 2 minutes and we'll get our online learning strategies mini workshop started. So we'll see you all soon. Okay, give us start in about 30 more seconds and then we'll get started. So this is the online learning workshop. So I'm just going to be going through some strategies here to talk about ways that you can make sure you're successful in your online studies. So we'll give people a chance to slowly wander back to the computer here. But while we're waiting, I'll just say that online studies can be a little bit different than learning in a classroom. So you're not seeing your teachers face to face, you're not seeing your fellow students face to face, you're not physically getting up, getting ready for the day and then going out in your car or walking or taking public transport to the campus and then physically walking into the classroom. So the routines are quite a bit different compared to learning online. Learning online has some good advantages, but also some disadvantages. So we're going to talk about strategies to help kind of mitigate some of those downsides about learning online while we accentuate or take advantage of some of those positive aspects of online learning. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started here. If people join us late, that's okay. All right. So kind of a question here, maybe a rhetorical question, depending how many of us are here, is what are some of the benefits of learning online? So what are some of the good things about learning online? So what makes learning online good? So if you have a thought about what makes learning online good, what are some of the benefits, feel free to type it into the chat box here. Even if it's just a couple words or one word. Share with the rest of us why you think learning online could be a good thing. I have some thoughts too, but I'll wait to see if anyone else has any ideas. Okay, that's okay. Not particularly chatty, or we're still away from the computer. That's okay. I'll kind of go through what I've kind of gathered. It's kind of a list of some things that I think are valuable or useful about learning online. So some potential benefits. Freedom. So more freedom to use your time as you like. Maybe one of the downsides of having to get up and get ready and take the bus or walk or drive to campus is that takes a long time. Depending how far away you live, that could be, an hour or more out of your day. So you get a little bit more free time because the commute from your bed or your living room to the computer is a short one. So you have more flexibility, more freedom to use your time as you like. More choice too. You can live basically anywhere with a decent internet connection and study in the EFAS program or whatever program. So of course, we're very happy that you've chosen EFAS. And we know you have a lot of choices about where you can choose to study. But another benefit too of studying from home is maybe you're living with family or friends. Traveling abroad and living abroad is expensive, right? So you get to save a little bit of money too in that regard. So that's always nice. And related to that is you get to learn in more comfortable surroundings, near people you love, friends and family. You get to eat, if you're still at home in your home country, you get to eat the food you're familiar with, which is actually a real benefit because one of the biggest challenges that a lot of students tell me is when they first come to Waterloo and what they struggle with, what they miss. It's not family, it's not friends, it's not pets, it's always the food. Food is always number one thing they miss first. They miss the food from home, and you don't realize it until you're separated from the food you normally eat, how important that is to your routine and your sense of comfort. So if you get to learn from home and eat the food you're comfortable with, that's always nice. And we're kind of lucky that we live in the time that we do, in the sense of technology really helps make the learning process easier. So of course we have virtual tools, meeting tools like Zoom and Microsoft Teams and Skype. We also have video recordings, right? Online collaboration tools like Google Docs, Microsoft Office, the ways we can work together. So if there was ever a time to learn remotely, this is it. But then follow-up question, what are some of the drawbacks? So what are some of the negative things, the not so good things about learning online? Does anyone have any ideas? I have some, but if you have any ideas, feel free to type them into the chat. What are some not so good things or negative things about learning online? Any ideas? That's okay. I know it's early. Many of us haven't been talking with too many people over the Christmas break. So that's okay. We're just getting back into the swing of things. Thankfully, I've come up with a few ideas here. Potential drawbacks, potential negative things about learning online. too much free time. There's a saying in English, you can have too much of a good thing. In other words, so much of a good thing that it turns into something bad for you. So a negative of having too much free time is that it can be overwhelming, having this huge amount of time that's not structured for you. So if you don't have a regular schedule where you're going out into the world every day, it can be really easy to fill it that time with non-productive things like Netflix, so watching movies, YouTube, whatever it might be, playing video games, chatting with friends on social media, just lazing around the house, having a nap, whatever it might be. It feels like, oh, I'll just take a quick break. Sometimes quick breaks turn into 3 hours. And then you wonder why you've run out of time to do your homework. So too much of a good thing can be a negative. It can also be harder to communicate with others. So downside of not going to campus every day, not going to school every day, is that we can't just run into a friend in the classroom or talk to the teacher after class or in the hallway and say, hey, I just have a question. Or do you have time for me to meet with me? So those sort of casual, spur of the moment interactions are not as possible, are more difficult in an online environment. So we have to plan a little bit more if we want to communicate with people. That's okay. There are ways of making that easier, which we'll talk about. And a big one is feeling isolated, feeling alone. And that's a tough one with online learning. I'm not going to lie. It's a hard one. But that's why, Alex and Ryan and your peer leaders and myself, we're all working really hard, and your teachers too, I should say. We're all working really hard to plan events, activities, lectures, where you get a chance to see other people, and in the events and activities, talk with other people, have some fun, and build that sense of community that it might be a little bit harder to do in the real world right now, if you can call it that. So we will do our best to help you build that sense of community, but I'm going to throw another English idiom, another English saying at you. You get in what you get out what you put in. So you get out what you put in. So what that means is that the more effort you put in to going to events and activities, to talking to other people, to sending people messages, to getting to know other people, basically, the more you'll get out, the more you'll feel connected with other people, the more you'll learn about others, the more that you'll feel a sense of community, and you'll feel more fulfilled interacting with other people. So basically, the more you participate, the more you'll get out of it. Finally, drawback, technology malfunctions. I would say last summer was probably the most challenging time for technology malfunctions. Learning online was a new thing for many of us. Working online for employees was very new. A lot of the tools didn't work as well as first, but now as time's gone on, technologies should be working a little bit better, but still not going to be perfect. You might have days where your internet's not working well, or your teachers or whoever. So remember, patience. Patience is important. Most of these malfunctions don't last too long, thankfully. So the question is, how do we maximize the benefits of online learning? So how do we make bigger the benefits, the good things of online learning, and make smaller the drawbacks? You'll see a picture here of a coffee mug. It has one of my favorite sayings on it. It's from one of the American founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin. He always asked himself every morning, what good shall I do this day? And it's a good question to ask yourself. It's kind of an exercise in goal setting. What do you want to accomplish this day? And it's a good way to look at each day to see how you can get the most benefit out of it. So there's lots of things you can do, but for the sake of time and to help you remember, we're going to focus on 4 things that I think are really valuable for students to do to make sure they're successful in their online learning. The first thing to do is structure your time. So what does that mean? You need to make yourself a schedule and stick to it. We're human beings, we're creatures of habit. We like structure. So if you make yourself a schedule, you're going to notice improvements both in your academics life, but also your personal life. Organizing your life. So using physical and electronic tools to keep things in your place. Keep things in their place, I should say. So what does that mean? So we'll talk about it in more depth in a minute, but it's just using tools to make sure your files, the things you need for class are where they are, physical things like pens, paper, books, you keep those in the right place. So yeah, staying organized. Communicate often. As I mentioned earlier, there's lots of people here to help, but it's really important that you make an effort to talk to them. So you need to contact your teachers, your staff, and your classmates regularly. And we'll talk about some ways you can do that. Thankfully, in this day and age, 2021, it's a very easy thing to do, just to communicate with others. Finally, ask for help. There are many people here to help you, but it's very important that you ask for it. My bad joke earlier, we're all bad at reading minds here. So unless you're one of those people blessed with the ability to read others' minds, it's hard to know sometimes what other people are thinking. So it's very important that you reach out to others if you need help, but also if you think someone else might need help or you need information from them, you need to be proactive and send them an email, send them a text, send them a message in WeChat or WhatsApp. So there's no time like the present. It's very important that you talk to other people. Okay, so now we'll go through each of those 4 points in a little more depth together. I am keeping an eye on the chat box, so if at any point, if you do have questions or something I'm saying doesn't make sense, or maybe my internet cuts out, I don't know, feel free to type a question into the chat box and I'll do my best to answer it. So structure your time. Like I said, human beings are creatures of habit. So what is habit? We like to do the same thing day in and day out. Sometimes we might say, oh, I like things to be new and exciting. But most of us, when we think about it a little bit more, we like to know what to expect each day. We like to have a routine, things we do regularly. So our minds, but also our bodies, want to know what to expect every day. Just like a house, we will collapse. We will have negative impacts on our life if we do not have a good structure. So you see this picture of this sad little house here that's starting to fall over. Its structure, the thing keeping it up, is not good. So it's starting to fall over. So humans, we're the same way. If we don't have a good structure to our day, our week, our month, we can start to fall over too. And we might not do as well in our courses. Our personal life might suffer. So that's why it's important to have structure. Making a schedule that we can follow every day can help provide that structure. So when we schedule our day, our week, our month, we should put important things into that schedule. Well, what's important? Sleep. That's a big one, and it's one that a lot of students struggle with, particularly online learning, is they might stay up too late. It's very important that you're scheduling sleep time, as in you go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time every day. But we're gonna have a sleep hygiene workshop later this term. We'll go into that in a little more depth, but all I'll say right now is it's very important that you try to go to bed and wake up at the same time every day. You, particularly where you might live in the world, you might be actually having to make some adjustments to that schedule based on your class times. I know that's a big change, and I know it's not easy, but the sooner you get into that regular habit of falling asleep at the same time and waking up at the same time, your body will start to feel better. What else do we put in our schedule? We put in class time. So when we're expected to be participating in lectures in class. Work time, some of us might have a part-time job or volunteer or whatever it might be. So we put that into our schedule as well. Time for studying. So not just class, but time where we're reviewing our notes or doing our assignments on our own. You want to make sure you're blocking that time in, that you're making time every day to do that. Other important things, exercise, meals. Again, you want to try to do that at the same time regularly. Family time, other things that are important to us. Maybe it's worship, so church or synagogue or mosque, whatever it might be. Volunteering, whatever is important to you and gives your life meaning. You want to make sure you include that in your schedule also. So knowing that what's some things we can put into our schedule, the question is, okay, what do I use to visualize, to look at my schedule, and where do I write this down or type this out? So we can use day planners or diaries. For many of us, even in this electronic age, we're better at remembering things if we physically write it out. So a day planner, a diary, a journal looks like this on the screen here. That can be a great tool for planning our day and our week. To-do lists. So I often keep a running to-do list of different tasks I need to accomplish each day. I often put the most important task or the most difficult task at the top of my to-do list, and then less difficult or less important tasks towards the bottom. Those easy tasks are often ones we don't usually need a reminder about. So that's why it's important that you put the difficult or time-consuming tasks at the top. Google, Microsoft Outlook calendar, there's lots of online calendar tools that you can use. Your phone or computer might have come with one already installed. So I encourage you to use those. Some benefits of ones like Microsoft Outlook is they can sync with the app on your phone. So if you have your laptop open and you put in a meeting in your Outlook calendar, it'll sync with your phone so that you'll get a reminder about it on your phone when you're closer to that deadline or that meeting, whatever it might be. And finally, your calendar, Microsoft Learn, or not, you Waterloo Learn, I should say. So Learn, as I said, is the learning management system. I encourage you to come to our Waterloo websites workshop tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern, and I'll show you what the calendar looks like in that workshop. It's a great way to see not only when your classes are, but when some of the events are. Finally, this is one that one of our instructors told me about, and it's a great tool and I use it still, is the Pomodoro task timer. So Pomodoro, it's Italian for tomato, I believe. Not really important why it's called a Pomodoro timer. I think it's something to do with making pasta sauce, but what it is that it's using a timer, in this case, 25 minutes, to do short periods of intense work. So that means focusing, putting away the phone, putting away the social media, and just focusing for 25 minutes of hard work. So you do the 25 minutes of work, and then you take a 5-minute break, and then you do another 25 minutes, take a 5-minute break, another 25 minutes, and then maybe a longer break, maybe 15, 20 minutes. Since I started using that, I found I can get a lot done in 25 minutes of focused work. So I know it sounds a little bit silly, like, oh, what can you accomplish in 25 minutes? Actually, quite a lot if you're removing other distractions. So that's another good thing to try. If you're finding that you get distracted easily, set a 25-minute timer, put the phone in another room, turn it off, and just do some work quickly. It's a great way to succeed in your studies. Point 2, organizing your life. So you have a picture of a very messy desk here. Ryan's not here, but I'll tell you, when Ryan and I used to work together, I'm one of those people, I need to have things in a certain place, but Ryan was a little bit more freeform. He still got everything done, so more power to him, and he does a lot. So he's great, he's an awesome boss. Not knocking Ryan at all, but sometimes his desk looked a little bit more like this. So I was always amazed he found something. So for many of us, maybe Ryan accepted, it can be hard to be productive if we have a messy workspace. If we don't know where things are, it can be stressful. I just get stressed out looking at that. So organizing your life can be a helpful way to do well in your studies. So like I said, you can't find your notes, laptop charger is missing, don't know where your phone is, your relaxing day can become stressful very quickly. So by organizing your workspace, you again can help give your life some structure. You also save time every day because you'll be able to quickly find things that you need. Now, this is a very fancy looking office. My office doesn't look like that. But the point is not so much the fancy computer and table, it's more that everything has a place. So you'll see that the desk is mostly clean. There's a shelf or boxes and places to keep things. So that can help make your workspace more conducive, so more helpful to you in terms of studying. Some tools that can help you organize your life include color-coded notebooks for those of you like me who still write notes by hand. Having different colored notebooks for different courses, as well as different folders, is a great way of keeping things organized because you can quickly look like, oh yeah, red, that's my writing class. Black, oh yeah, that's my speaking skills class. You can just quickly grab it, you know what it is. Same on your computer. Digital folders. So having a folder for each course and then maybe subfolders, so as notes, assignments, group work, whatever it might be. And then I think on some operating systems like Apple, Mac OS, you can also color code those. So again, very helpful for staying organized. Cloud drive services. I've had the misfortune of working very hard on a 12-page paper and then losing about 90% of it because I didn't save it properly. One of the most upsetting things when you're a student is working very hard and then losing your work. Again, thanks to technology these days, Microsoft OneDrive, Google Drive, there's lots of cloud drive services out there, can constantly sync and auto-save your work. So I strongly, strongly recommend you use something like that so that you're not losing your work. As well as file folders and boxes for school supplies, chargers, USB drives. Again, you might think I have a cloud drive, I don't need it, but sometimes it's good to have that physical backup too, in case you're having internet issues or whatever it might be. Point number 3, communicate often, like we're doing here through Zoom. In online studies, communicating with others keeps you connected with the outside world, with your classmates, with your teachers. Now, as I mentioned earlier, in online studies, we all need to work that little bit harder to connect with other people. It's not like we're studying in person where we run into somebody in the hall or maybe just quickly talk to the teacher after class. We actually need to put in a little bit more effort to communicate with other people, but not too much more effort because thankfully we have electronic tools like chat apps, like Zoom, like Google Docs or Microsoft Office Online that make it easy to talk to other people and work together. So I strongly, strongly recommend that you check the following communication channels regularly. So you're gonna be learn most every day to check what your teachers have posted for assignments, check the calendar to see when your due dates are, check when upcoming ELI events are. I recommend you're checking Learn at least twice per day. You'll probably be doing it more than that because you're doing so much work for your courses, but at least twice per day. Log into Learn and check to see if there's any new announcements, any messages from your teachers or classmates. Email. Now I know in a lot of countries, particularly overseas, email is considered a little bit old-fashioned. More people are using chat apps like WeChat or WhatsApp. But I'd say in North America, especially, email is still very important, particularly when it comes to professional communication. So communicating between teachers and student or staff members. So again, make sure that we have an email. Well, first I would say, make sure that the English Language Institute, that we have your correct email address on file. So if you haven't been getting emails from us, please reach out to me so we can make sure that we have the right email address for you. But also that you're checking it regularly, again, probably twice per day, to make sure that you're not missing any important messages from staff or teachers. Related to communicating often is also communicating respectfully. So communicating in a way that we make sure that where others are comfortable and that we're not making anyone feel left out or potentially unsafe. So online communication requires respect, just like in-person communication. There's certain things we wouldn't say to people in person, face-to-face. The same goes for online communications too. So here are some quick tips to make sure your communication is always respectful. Big one, every culture I'm pretty much has a rule like this. In English, we call it the golden rule. It's very easy. Treat others the way you want to be treated. So if you know that saying something or doing something would hurt your feelings or make you feel uncomfortable, then you don't do that to other people. Very easy rule to follow. And if you follow that rule, I'd say 99% of the time, you're going to be fine. Also, keep things professional. So just like work, school is a professional environment, university is a professional environment. So we want to make sure that we're not having any sexual or violent discussions or sharing any sexual or violent images or video. We want to make sure that everyone feels safe while they're learning. Finally, dress for success. Choose your space carefully and use your mute button. Now, of course, there's no formal dress code when it comes to learning online. You can choose to learn in your pajamas if you want to, but what I will say is that if you do change into clothes, obviously these aren't my pajamas, these are my work clothes. It doesn't have to be a suit and tie or dress or anything, but just something that is kind of a mental signal to your brain that it's time to do some work, it's time to be productive. And also, if you have to talk to other people through Zoom or online, people are going to take you more seriously if you're dressed for success. So just a personal tip, you can take it or leave it, but I find it helpful in terms of my structure and my schedule to dress like I would if I was still going into the office. Choose your space carefully. This one's harder, I'll freely admit that. Not everyone has access to an office or quiet space where we can work quietly and be free from distractions. I understand that's not always possible, but try to do your best to find, even if it's just a quiet corner of your room or the living room, get some noise canceling headphones if you're able to budget for that. Something that just makes that a little bit easier for you to focus. Finally, use your mute button. Of course, we want to be talking and interacting, and that's great. And I'm guilty of this. Sometimes I forget to mute my microphone, and then I'll be rummaging around with papers or whatever, and then it's loud or distracting for other people. So if you're not speaking, make sure you use the mute button. That way, if your brother, sister, roommate is doing the dishes or has the vacuum going, we don't hear it, and vice versa. And again, as part of communicating respectfully and everyone feeling safe and comfortable, please do contact me, Ryan, Alex, your teachers right away if you feel unsafe, if you feel someone has shared or done something that's disrespectful or harmful. Please let us know right away so that we can address the situation as soon as possible. Finally, point 4, ask for help when you need it. There are many people and services here to help you. Your teachers, you'll be interacting with them the most. They will give you their contact information as well as tell you times you can meet with them through Zoom. Your student experience staff, so Ryan, Alex, and myself, we always try to be available through email, through one-on-one meetings, through the chat groups, so please reach out to us there. And your peer leaders, who you can also book meetings with them. You'll see them in events. They're also wonderful people to ask questions and get support. related to those one-on-one meetings. Again, I'll go through this in the Waterloo website's workshop tomorrow. But I just wanted to show you a little screenshot of what our online booking site looks like. So as you can see, it's really cool. You just, once you're on the site, you pick a date and a time that works for you. Type the reason you want to meet, and then click submit, and you'll get sent a Zoom link and a meeting for your electronic calendar. So it's really cool. In these one-on-one meetings, you can practice study skills, get time management advice, study advice, practice your English and listening skills, or just use this as a sounding board. So that just means talking your ideas out loud. So sometimes we're working on an assignment, or we're just reading something and it's not quite making sense. Sometimes we just need to talk it out with somebody else, and just that other person can listen, ask some clarifying questions, and help you make more sense of it. So that's another valuable reason for booking those meetings. If you want to book those virtual meetings, and I strongly encourage you do, you just go to uwaterloo.ca/eli/meet-up. Okay, that's the end. I know you've been patiently listening for almost 2 hours now, so thank you very much for staying with us. Just remember to follow these strategies for successful online studies. Structure your time, make a schedule, use a calendar, whether it's a written calendar or a computer or phone calendar. Write a to-do list, type a to-do list, very important. Organize your life, try to have a good workspace if you can. Have folders on the computer, physical folders, notebooks to keep everything organized. Communicate often with your teachers, with your classmates, with the peer leaders, with staff, and make sure that we're respectful to others. And always ask for help. Again, we're here to support you. We're here to listen, but you do need to let us know what you need. So please don't be shy and reach out to us. Okay. So we're going to spend the next few moments. If any of you have any questions about the workshop or anything you heard today, I'll be happy to do my best to answer them. But again, thank you for your time. Always wonderful to meet new students. Always excited at the beginning of a new term. Kind of like Elizabeth said, it's kind of full of new possibilities. It's a fresh start. So if you need help making that fresh start, just remember that you can always contact me or book a meeting with me, and I'll be happy to support you. So I'll just keep an eye on the chat here. Otherwise, thank you again for joining us today. Do take a look at your email for the schedule for the upcoming couple days. And your class schedule will be emailed to you tomorrow evening, and then classes on Monday. Thanks again, everyone. I'll stick around if you have questions. Otherwise, have a great day. Okay, I think that's all for today. No more questions. Thanks again, everyone. Take care and best of luck this term. If you need to reach me, you can always contact me by email at aj.dixon@uwaterloo.ca. Thanks again, and bye-bye.